Hello and welcome to my review of Body Kouros by YSL or Yves Saint Laurent. I'm doing a men's fragrance. I haven't done one for a while and I've got some left to do, so I thought I'd do this one today. I actually recorded this the other day and it just, when I replayed it back, it was blurry, it was really annoying, so I'm starting fresh. So anyway, yeah, I'll just quickly say that if you've smelt the original Kouros, which is obviously a massively popular but I think somewhat kind of done to death fragrance now, then you'll be familiar with the whole Kouros thing, but then I'll also say that this is, the fragrance wise and the smell of it, I don't think is anything to do with the original. I'm not a fan of the original at all, it's just really not my style. And this one I never would have actually discovered. I never would have stopped and smelled this in a shop. I actually smelt it on someone that was wearing it and I asked them, and because it smelled amazing, so then I just went and got it. So about the fragrance, it's an oriental spicy fragrance and it came out in the year 2000, so quite a while ago, and I find it quite impressive. The packaging's nothing special at all. Mine's 100ml and it's an eau de toilette. I don't think it comes in any other concentrations, but obviously it does come in other sizes, but I always go for the bigger one. I don't know, I'm just obsessed with getting the biggest bottle possible so I don't ever run out. Yeah, dark, kind of brooding packaging there. It just says Body Kouros on the front. I'm not actually sure when the first one came out. I probably should have researched that, but I don't really take notice of it because I don't really like it. So the bottle's kind of strange. It's like the bottle is inside a wooden casing. The bottle itself is actually rather narrow. So yeah, it's like a tower within. This is, I don't know if it's wood, but I don't know if you can see it, but it has got a kind of wooden effect on it. Yeah, that's it really. It's quite plain. It's quite a plain, simple bottle. I'll tell you what's actually in the fragrance. It's got top notes of eucalyptus and incense, which I think is a really unusual combination. Eucalyptus to me is kind of a green medicinal smelling note, and then incense I love, you know, smoky, exotic, quite deep note. Then you've got the heart notes are clary sage and cedarwood. Clary sage is another green smelling note, and I kind of think it smells like tea. It kind of, I would say, lifts a fragrance a little bit. And then the base is benzoin. It's kind of strange to have only benzoin in a base. Benzoin is usually used as an enhancer in small quantities, but apparently this has a complete base of benzoin, which I find weird. So yeah, I've had it drying on this hand and I will spray it on this hand. Does it spray quite a lot out? It's quite a short, sharp burst. Yeah, I'll tell you what it smells like. So I think when you first spray it, it has a very distinct, you can smell the kind of medicinalness of the eucalyptus, but it's immediately, to me, really smoky, and it's got a very distinct note of what I can only describe as kind of tar or kind of like burnt rubber, which is very strange, but it doesn't stay like that. And that's when you smell it close as well. I kind of find it hard to get away from that when I first smell it, because once I pick that out, now that's all I can smell, but thankfully it does change. It's kind of, it's a very dark, and I would call it sexy fragrance. It's very musky and almost kind of leathery and resinous, even though you've only got kind of incense in it as a top note. Incense is usually quite resinous as well smelling, but considering it's got eucalyptus and clary sage, which I think are quite, not bright, but quite lifting green notes, it smells a lot heavier than that when you first spray it. And you can really feel the depth of it. It's a very deep, as I said, dark fragrance, and I would probably wear this at night time. It's really sexy. And I also think that it's kind of along the same lines as Jean Paul Gaultier Le Male, but that's another one that's been done to death, and this is quite a refreshing, similar but much better fragrance. If you like that, then try this out, because it's kind of like a darker cousin of it, where the male had kind of a lot of vanilla, so it was very sweet. This is way not as sweet. You would think that it would be though, because benzoin is a very kind of almost like caramel and vanilla smelling note, but for me it never really gets to that. It doesn't really smell like any of the things in this, I would say. Eucalyptus, yes, but incense only partly. Clary sage, no. Cedar, definitely not. I studied cedar recently for my perfumery course, and I can't really detect that in this at all. It's very, very cool though. It's very nice, it's very sexy, and the strength of it is quite impressive. It does project quite far for me, and the best part of it is the longevity. This is one that stays with you for a very long time. That's why I'd say it's pretty good as an evening fragrance, because if you're dancing around or whatever, you want to kind of not sweat it off, basically. Good date fragrance, I reckon. So yeah, that's it really. It's described as an oriental spicy, but spicy, I would say only slightly. It's more, as I said, it feels more like resinous to me, and it smells a tinge medicinal, and that's probably why that's probably coming from, sorry, the eucalyptus. So to sum it up, imagine a very deep green tinged kind of medicinal smoky rubber scent, kind of like tyres on a car, or rubber tyres on a bike, but with a lot of sexiness added in. And that's pretty much it. I'm trying to think of anything else I might have forgotten. Not really. I would say though that probably because it's dry here, I would say that the rubbery tarness of it, that's quite unusual, that does fade out when it dries, and it does kind of even out and smooth out a lot more, which is I'm quite thankful for, because the tar is very weird. But yeah, it does settle down into an absolutely gorgeous fragrance, I think, for men, and it's a little bit different from most of the stuff that I've got or that I smell on other people. So that's it really. I'll see you guys soon for another review, and if you like my reviews then subscribe. Speak to you soon. Bye bye.